Hi, this is California MBA, Susan Milazzo here for our Connect podcast. This is the first time that we're doing this. We are recording this live at the ICE experience. Thank you to Michael Hammond for helping us make this possible. So welcome to our episode of Connect, the weekly podcast for the California MBA featuring one-on-one interviews with movers and shakers in the mortgage industry. I want to thank our President's Council sponsors this year for their great support for our association, making sure that we are well funded so we can continue our advocacy efforts on behalf of the real estate finance industry in California, and they are the sponsors of our Connect podcast. And I'm very happy to have a longtime President's Council sponsor, Josh Friend, CEO of Insellerate, as my guest today.
Susan, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Excited.
This is great. I've never been to this conference before, so it's all new, very exciting. Yeah. Lots going on, especially in kind of this market. One thing that always impressed me when I first met you is that I feel like you have a very unique perspective on the market because you are a mortgage banker, and I think that not just from the technology side, but you really intuitively understand and kind of can foresee what's happening. So what are you seeing in the market right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I was a loan officer 24 years ago, and then I started First Mortgage Company in 2003. So I've had some experience in this space, and have an advantage point of working with loan officers, underwriters. I used to do secondary desk trade, so knowing kind of all the different variables, you realize what's actually going to be, ultimately, saving companies money, and it's, that's why I started building technology.
Right.
And that's, I think, what we're seeing right now in the industry is, when I was in the mortgage space, the technology we had just did not fill the need, and it wasn't flexible. If I wanted to make it do something different to make myself more efficient. And right now, it's all about efficiency. That's what we're seeing in the mortgage industry. Right? The cost to produce a loan went to $11,500.
Unbelievable.
In 2009, it was $3,900.
I was going to say, I remember when it was coming up to $5,000. We're like, oh my gosh, it's going to be $5,000. Now it's more than twice that.
Yeah. So, and the reason is think about it. For the most part, all the technology that's been in the space has been around since I was a loan officer 24 years ago. Right? That you can't do more with it. It's reached its capacity of how efficient it's going to make a lender. Now lenders are having to look at, what does new technology look like?
Right.
Right. And understand that, and what does that mean? And that's kind of the big term that we've been using in the mortgage industry is, well, this is a new technology or a new platform, and then we could really kind of get into how it's affected with technology that have APIs and, what does new technology mean? So that's where we've been busy because we have, we are an innovative company. We have new technology. So we're able to provide solutions that otherwise you can't go get elsewhere with a platform.
I think that, we saw, record volume in 20 and in 21, and then it kind of started to taper in 22, but the kind of, huge fall off with interest rates rise, I feel like it's making a lot of my lender members reevaluate their tech stacks. Yep. And to your point, what technology am I using? How can I walk away or advance beyond this rise and fall of staffing up, staffing down? How can I use technology to accommodate the volume fluctuations?
That's right. I mean, this last refinance boom was all about human capital. How many underwriters could I hire? How much could I pay them? Let's hire the best. How many people can I get in the office to do the manual work? And and lenders still, some will think that that's the next solution again, but that's not.
Right.
The next iteration is not human capital, because we can't train underwriters any better than they're already trained. We can't make them go faster than they've already. I mean, there's a zenith of what human capacity is for the underwriting.
Right.
We've been doing it so long enough that we're not getting any better at it. So all these different things have to start moving over to, well, what is technology going to do? Because that can do it better. Right? We're going to get more efficient. It's like Henry Ford said, if we listen to all the customers and all the people, they wanted faster horses.
Yeah.
They didn't want cars. They didn't understand what
they didn't know what they wanted.
They didn't know what they wanted. So just make my horse faster was what they wanted. Train it harder, feed it better, breed it better.
That was analogy. I've heard that one. You're right, though.
So now that's the same thing. It's not about faster horses. It's about something completely different. And it's using technology, and that's a term I use a lot. But the difference is, think about electricity. We're sitting here in this office or this conference room, and we have 110 volts here. All these walls. There's 220 probably on the wall. It's standardized.
Right.
Electricity's been out for hundreds of years. technology really has not been out for hundreds of years. It's been out for 20, 30 years. So standardization just took place right around 2015 when cloud computing really became big and powerful. And that's everything's moving to the cloud now because it's just so much faster,
Right.
cheaper, better, safer. Cloud computing became really powerful. There's new standards emerged. What's called like interior applications and like microservices. So a software like ours, every component is a separate piece of software connected through what's called an API. So anytime we want to change, so recently we had some retail lenders come on the platform and they were on a different system, and they said, my loan officers really like this one page and it had these pretty buttons on it, and it was like, okay, 30 days later you can have those pretty buttons because
Right.
it's not hard for us to add something into the platform, to add a widget
Right.
or to
Right.
make a code change because everything is independent little systems. So there's other platforms out like us, not in the CRM space, but in like pricing engine spaces and LS, they're built similarly. And so that's what I'm trying to really let lenders know. Look for lenders who are not lenders, but technology providers who are built on like modern standards. So this platform was built in 2018. This was like the sixth version of this platform, but 2018 rebuilt it, built it for the cloud. Use all Microsoft's microservices, all their platform as a service stuff. So it gave us the ability to really scale and do integrations in ways that other people haven't been able to. So the use case of what we solved has always been the same, but we just applied new building methodologies to building it. So now it's given us the ability to innovate. That's what our customers have been really enjoying about it.
Yeah, I think lenders are, like you say, they are more attracted to and want to partner with companies like yours that can integrate either all or nothing or segments of that and integrate with what they have. Because I know that when we rose from the ashes of the financial crisis, and mortgage industry was late in adoption of technology, right, over other industries, right?
Very much
just
so.
because of the fact we were trying to stay in business,
That's
and
why.
we weren't worried about technology.
Then it was
we should have been. And there was compliance because it was all this technology and nobody's being compliant about it. But there was a big adoption problem. I bought all this technology, but my loan officers won't use it. But to your point, having that ability to integrate and adopt it with what they like about the things that they're already using, I think is really key.
Yeah, what we try to do, like to increase adoption, we really focus on data management. And why is that important? The loan officers can get access to their data easier through our platform, stuff that they want to know about a customer, a transaction, marketing, and so we can really give them good data. So which means we also have to bring all the data into the platform.
Right.
And then the executive level, marketing level, wants to know about data because then they can then market off of the data.
Right.
So that's really what we focus on. How do you manage that data? And that, if you can provide good data in the system, you're going to give your higher user adoption because there's something of value in there.
I think, also regulators are looking at the use of technology. So they want to, they want lenders, they want their licensees to be, efficient, data privacy and, the access to the data that, that all the lenders have for their customer base.
Yeah, that's right. So that's the other thing is modern. Now, most providers probably here at this conference are going to be SOC certified, and there's certain things that you want to check definitely with your tech providers, making sure they have what's called the SOC certification, SA 16 or 18 audit, which just means that they are running technology appropriately and it's been audited, and means you should be generally safe.
Right.
So there's things like that. That's definitely something that you should be looking for as well with
So we're going to be, so thank you again for Insellerate being a President's Council sponsor.
Absolutely.
For again in 2023. We're grateful for that. We're going to be featuring Josh Friend at our Mortgage Innovators Conference happening June 14th and 15th at the Hilton Anaheim, talking about this and some other innovations in the tech space. So thank you, Josh, for everything. We appreciate you.
Susan, thank you.
And thanks to all of you for joining us on today's Connect podcast episode. To access any of our past episodes, you can follow us on our YouTube channel. We're also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and SoundCloud. That's it for this week, and we'll see you next time on Connect.